See if we're ready for rock and roll. Sneak attack, 5 p.m. Eastern time live. And you guys got to turn on the notifications. Otherwise, you're going to miss it because I'm going live at different times, trying to catch different people, trying to catch a new crowd because I want to talk to as many people as we possibly can. So let's see if we're alive. Let's see if we are not alive. I'm not sure. Right now, we have nothing. So I don't know if we're alive or not. All right, we got two people in the chat, rock and roll. We got Tyler, first place with the gold medal, Gene Queen with the silver medal, and Jesus with the third. Dalton, first loser this week, fourth place. I appreciate everyone who's jumping in. Thank you so much. As you guys know, I go live at different times. I want to talk to different subsets of people because if I go live at the same time on the same day, I'm just going to talk to the same people. So if I go live earlier, I could talk to people in the UK. I could talk to people in Australia. If I go live later, maybe more people on the West Coast. So I want to go live at different times, try to answer as many questions as you guys got. Please hit the thumbs up button. That will help a lot. That will help the channel grow, help the channel spread so we can spread the unbiased, objective perspective reseller gospel to the masses. So for me, I am nobody's friend. I am just speaking strictly facts. If I do speculate, I will tell you I'm speculating. If it is my opinion, I will tell you it is my opinion. Otherwise, it is unbiased. I don't care about anybody's feelings. I just give it straight to you, give you the good news. So I hope everybody has questions today. Please post as many questions as you guys have. Please hit the thumbs up. We have to beat a record of 850. That's the most thumbs up we've ever had. And please hit the notification bell down here if you want to be alerted every single time that I go live or when we drop a video. That way you don't miss anything. I've been putting out some fantastic videos lately. I hope everybody gets a chance to watch them. They are informative, educational, and a little bit entertainment as well. So definitely put your questions in the chat. If you do have some questions, put a couple question marks before it so I don't miss it. Please help me. There'll be 3,000 people in and out of this thing in the next hour. And as many questions as you guys have, that's as long as I'll be here to answer. If there's no more questions, I'm out of here. I'm not going to waste everybody's time and just sit here and Mickey Mouse. If we got questions, I'm here to work. If we are not, then we're out of here. So I just want to give you some information about VEROs. VEROs are verified rights owner. Verified rights owner is a program that eBay has where they have verified certain people that are representatives of a company. There are a ton of companies that are on the VERO list, tons of them. There are a ton of companies that are not on the VERO list. So if a company is on the VERO list, that does not mean definitively that they are very protective and you cannot list the items. There's a lot of companies on the VERO list that do not aggressively patrol eBay and give policy violations. There are companies that are not on the VERO list. Puma, the word Puma is not on the VERO list. However, they have given out a massive amount of VEROs since Friday, probably tens of thousands of them. The first reports of this hit the group Thursday into Friday. And if you want to be on the cutting edge of information for resellers, get inside of the group. We knew about Puma and we knew how to deal with it. We knew what to do. We knew what to do for the safety and well-being of our accounts all the way from Thursday. A lot of people are still getting hit today, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's going to keep happening. There's tens of thousands of VEROs going out for Puma. And this, in my opinion, will be something that continues to happen much more commonplace on the marketplace as secondhand goods, the secondhand market continues to explode over the next 10 to 15 years. So over the next 10 to 15 years, the secondhand market is expected to explode by hundreds of billions of dollars. As the customer, as the attention goes more to the secondhand market, I believe that a lot of companies are going to start to get way more aggressive on the secondhand items, even though we have the first sale doctrine, we have this, we have that. Unless you're sitting on a pile of cash and willing to fight the good fight for all resellers worldwide and defend every single reseller in the world against the first sale doctrine and our right to sell items that are pre-owned, it doesn't matter. The company can do whatever they want to do, and all we have to do is sit back and accept it. So we have the Verified Rights Owner program. A lot of people in the last couple of days have been hit by a VERO for a counterfeit or trademark infringement by the company Puma by ways of Red Points brand protection. And Red Points brand protection, I've been talking about in the group for over 5 years. Red Points Brand Protection is a company that a lot of companies hire. 1,300 companies have hired Red Points to go out and search the internet, whether it be eBay, Poshmark, personal websites, websites in China, Instagram, social media. This is a company that scours the entire internet looking for trademark infringements, counterfeits, and fakes. And they use software, they utilize software like AI, artificial intelligence. And a lot of these companies are Hugo Boss, Puma, Fila, Settlers of Catan. Tons of big companies employ Red Points marketing and Red Points brand protection. They also have another one called Brand Shield. They also have another one called Red Light Management, which manages a ton of different concert and bands and merchandise and t-shirts, all the way from Dave Matthews Band, very old band, to Sabrina Carpenter, which is very new. So you can go on all of these websites, Red Points, Google Red Point Brand Protection, read the website, look at what they're doing. We have to study these people because they're studying us. They are using artificial intelligence. Back in the day, it used to be an intern in between getting cups of coffee. He would log on to eBay and strike down some items. Now they're using softwares. That's the only way that tens of thousands of items would have been struck down in a matter of 24, 48, 72 hours. So they're looking at our photos. Is this word a little crooked? Is it 2 millimeters off? Is the placement of this logo incorrect? And then they're striking it down, whether it is fake or not fake. They're striking it down. They don't care. They're going to strike it down and answer questions later. And that's just the way it's going to be. This is not the first time it's happening, and this will not be the last time it is happening. In my opinion, they will be more and more overreaching, and they will be more and more aggressive as the time goes on, because the secondhand market is getting more and more of a valuable marketplace compared to brand new. So a lot of these companies, Levi's, North Face, Patagonia, Carhartt, even Lululemon is starting to do buyback programs. And what they're going to do is buy back their items, and they're going to resell them to the consumers because it is environmentally friendly. It is sustainable. It's great for marketing, and it is more profitable for a company to sell the same item for the second time than it is to sell an item for the first time. They don't have to pay for materials. They don't have to pay for design. They don't have to pay for warehouse. They don't have to pay for factory. They don't have to pay for labor, tariffs, taxes, boats, customs, tractor trailers, brick and mortar stores. They don't have to pay for any of that. They get to sell the same item the second time. It's what we all get to do. And like on a percent basis, we are way more profitable than the actual brand, who might only make 7% profit on an item, where we get to make 700% profit on an item. So like, this is coming. It's going to be wide ranging. It's going to be sweeping. It's going to be very broad. They're going to take everything down and ask questions later. This is a promise. This is a guarantee. This is what will happen. So what can we do to protect ourselves? We need to study the companies, Red Points, Brand Shield, Red Light Management, all of these companies that act on the behalf of these large corporations to sweep the entire internet, to sweep every single marketplace. And we need to know what's going on. This is not a new thing. A couple of months ago, the NFL did it. A year or two ago, Fila did it. Now we're seeing with Puma. All of these brands are going to start jumping on, and we have to know what to do. So this is what you do. If you're not in a group that is on the cutting edge of reseller information, you're going to have to wait a couple of days until this hits you, whether you got to keep your ear to the streets, you got to watch YouTube videos, you got to go on social media, you got to talk to people at the bins. If you hear of a company that is sweeping the platform of VEROs, this is what you have to do. And you have to do this properly. Otherwise, you still put yourself in danger. If you hear of a company that is wide-ranging, sweeping for VEROs, this is what you have to do. You have to revise your listings, remove the photographs because they are using artificial intelligence to read the photos. You have to revise your listing and change the title, take out any words that correspond with the brand that is giving the VEROs. You have to change your item specifics, and you have to change your description. And then you have to submit a listing that is blank and has no ties to the original brand. That is what we have to do. If you end all of your Puma listings, I have great news for you. You may still get a VERO. eBay and the brand can still issue you a VERO after the item sells, after the item has been ended, and after the item has been deleted. The only way to not get a VERO on an item that was Puma is to revise it, change the title, take out all words that associate with Puma, change the photo to a picture of your blank wall. Don't put a dog or a cat because it's against policy to sell a pet on eBay. Put a blank wall, list it as shirt and shirt only, change the item specific brand to shirt, change the description to shirt, click revise, and then only then end the listing and take it down. If you are ending listings that still say Puma, you are putting your account in jeopardy because Puma and Red Points and eBay, all of these people can still give you a policy violation and still give you a VERO for an ended, unsold, and deleted item. So I'm going to say it again, and you're going to hear this all over the internet now, but we've been talking about this for 7 years in the group. This is how you deal with VEROs. You're going to hear people rehash this incorrectly, but I need you to pay attention and listen. If you have an item that has high potential for a VERO, revise it, edit it, remove all instances of the brand, including the photographs, because they are reading the photographs with software. Change the photographs to a blank wall. Change the title to something generic that says shirt. Change the item specific to shirt from brand, shirt brand. Change the description, take out the name, put shirt, save the revision, and then you can end the listing. If you just end the listing, it still has the trademark infringement or the copyright or the fake item in it. You can still get a VERO on an ended and unsold item. Now, if you have 30 Puma items, you're going to have to do this 30 times. And that's just the name of the game. You got to do it. So it's very, very important that we know what to do. It's very, very important that we are surrounding ourselves with people that are in the business, that are in the know. Inside of the group, we have a running VERO post where anytime someone gets a VERO for any reason, we include it in the post. And that is an alert. That is a signal for everybody else. We need to tighten up and we need to put a second thought because this brand is on eBay patrolling the items. So this is what we have to do. Delete every single instance of Puma in the listing because you can still get a policy violation from an ended item, a sold item, an unsold item, or a deleted item. Chat, does everybody understand? Chat, does everybody understand? Does everybody understand what we need to do? If there is, please, in the chat, tell me yes, tell me no. If I got to go over it again, this is very, 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 very important. This is account safety. This is our livelihood. This is everything. Like Gene Queen is saying, don't forget all the item specifics. We need to take out every single thing that contains or pertains to the brand that is removing the items. Are we clear? Are we crystal clear? You're going to hear this rehashed all across YouTube. They're going to tell you incorrectly. They're going to jam people up. And they're going to say, I said to do this. Only believe what comes out of my mouth that you hear on this camera. Everything else, don't buy it. Don't believe it. I do not hold my tongue. If I got something to say, I'll let you know. So again, for the last time, if you have a listing that a brand is very aggressive and doing sweeps on, you revise, edit the listing, you change the photograph because they're using AI to sweep all the photographs and read them. They are reading the title, so we need to take out the offending brand or any other keywords, swoosh, anything like that. We need to take out every other keyword. We need to change the item specific to something generic, shirt. We need to change our description to something generic, shirt. That's what we need to do. We have to do this. If not, we are putting our account at jeopardy. No one item is not worth our entire account. No 2, 3, 4 items is worth our entire account. If you had ended an item already and you did not revise it, it doesn't matter. It's game over. You cannot revise that listing anymore, except if you use the out of stock option. If you use the out of stock option, you can revise an ended listing. But if you do not use the out of stock option, once the item is ended, that's it. It's over. You still stand a chance of getting a VERO. So it is very, very important. We have to keep our ear to the streets. We have to understand what's going on in the community. If you see a post, if you start seeing YouTube videos, if you start seeing stuff on social media, if you start hearing at the bins, we need to make that observation and go, wait a second. If it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, I need to make a move before I end up being a duck as well. So get the items off of eBay. Apparently, for whatever reason, they don't want them on there. Is this a forever thing? We don't know. With the NFL, they swept about 6 months ago. We haven't heard too much since. With FILA, they swept about 2 years ago at the same exact time, and we haven't heard too much since. Maybe a couple things here and there. But in my opinion, I think they sweep right in the middle of December, right in the front of December, get as much off of the platforms as they can. So that way, when you go to look online for the item, you can't find it. And what do? You go right to the website and you buy it brand new. So Steven says, what does this mean for the future of clothing sellers? Can this still be a full-time career if all the brands don't let us sell their items? So I have a belief. I have a belief of something that I believe strongly will happen. I recorded a podcast on this today. It's going to be released tomorrow in the group and about a month from now on YouTube. So I believe that this is my full belief, and you can go all the way back to stuff that I said 7 years ago that people used to dog me out and say I was crazy for. That's exactly happening today. Everything that's happening today, I called 7 years ago. I believe there will become a time where a brand flexes its muscle and pulls all of their items off of eBay under the gaze of, and it's, in my opinion, it'll be one of three brands. It'll be Apple, it'll be Nike, it'll be Disney. Because you could do an Apple search right now, number one item is a fake. You could do a Nike search right now, condition new, number one item is a fake. You could do a Disney search right now, condition new, number one item is a fake. Every single time. They might have one or two feedback. That means it's a new account. They've been suspended 100 times. They end up coming back. If you were Nike, if you were Apple, if you were Disney, you go to eBay and say, look, it is very, very obvious that you have a problem policing the platform in new and pre-owned condition. There are tons of counterfeits on the platform. You've been unable to police it and wrangle in this problem. So we are either going to sue you to the Stone Age, or we're going to pull all of our items off of the platform. Your choice. And unless eBay wants to fight Nike, unless eBay wants to fight Apple, unless eBay wants to fight Disney, they're going to pull all of that particular brand off of the platform. And once that first domino falls and sets the precedent of removing all of their items off of the platform, other companies will follow suit after that, and then reselling changes as a whole. Reselling is different from that day forward. So today we are in the golden era of doing it. There is the most customers online, the most amount of information online due to all YouTube videos and social media and all the data that we have access to. There is more tools that we have, buyer groups, newsletters, offers to watchers. There's more abundant items than ever been in the history of time. Now is the time to get after it and do what we have to do, because in the next, maybe tomorrow, maybe the day after, maybe 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, I don't know. But eventually one day a company will buck up against eBay and say, you have a problem patrolling the platform in new and in pre-owned condition. And unless you would like to go back to the Stone Age, we're pulling all of our items off of eBay. So now does that mean you can never sell a Nike shoe and you have to list it as shoe with a check mark? I don't know. Or does that mean that you have to be an authorized distributor? Do you have to be an authorized reseller? And it becomes a gated situation like Amazon? I don't know. That, or the companies will try to walk back the first sale doctrine, which, you know, as United States citizens, once we buy an item, we retain ownership, we could do whatever we want. But as recently as 2 years ago, they tried to walk back the first sale doctrine in the name of protecting against piracy and counterfeiting. And what they do, they're very smart. They include these laws and bills and addendums and rules inside of much broader and bigger rules, such as school lunch for kids, such as crossing guard safety for kids, such as fixing the roads, such as fixing the parks, such as free pre-K. And one line inside of there, it's called pork. One line inside of the law will be brand protection. Levi's wants more rights, and they want to retain more rights over pre-owned items on the marketplace in the name of counterfeit and in the name of piracy. And if you are a senator and you vote against school lunch for kids, you vote against playgrounds for kids, you vote against roads improvements, and when it comes time to get reelected and they say, how dare you, Mr. Senator, Miss Senator, how did you vote against school lunch for kids for free? How could you do that? You can't stand up there and say, I voted against the kids. You have to vote yes, and inside of voting yes of this umbrella of goodness, you are also voting yes of the pork that they have stuck in there to try to get certain things passed that they want passed underneath of these great, generous laws that they're trying to pass. So that is the reality of the United States of America. That is the reality of corporation. That is the reality of big business. They have lobbyists. They have people in Washington. And as the secondhand market becomes more viable, more profitable, more attention, more eyeballs on sustainability, more eyeballs on environmentally friendly, it's way more better on public relations. As more money falls into the secondhand market, and it's expected to be hundreds of billions of dollars more in the next 10 years, these companies are going to fight tooth and nail against us to retain more ownership and more control over the items that we are putting online as pre-owned. This is not a new thing. This has been happening. It will continue to happen, and it will be more and more and more aggressive. So the question for all of you guys is, what do you do aside from get better, do more, and seize today's opportunity? Because it will not be here forever. We might be making YouTube videos in 5 years talking about today, where we had the opportunity to do this. We might be making videos in 10 years where we talk about today. Hey, you remember when ChatGPT first came out? You remember when AI first came out? You remember when you have to manually do a listing and you didn't have a software that did it in 2 seconds? Do you remember those times? Like, these are the times, guys. And if you are not taking full opportunity of the thing that we have right in front of us, you are doing a disservice to yourself, to your family, and to your business. Now is the time. It is not going to get easier. It will not get better. And this it's only difficult and it's only challenging from here. So Puma, this is not the first time. Many brands have swept like this, but I think there's going to be more and more and more brands, especially as AI comes into play, especially as programs come into play, especially as the secondhand market starts to explode, that this is going to become more and more and more common. So if I were a shoe seller and I got whacked for 40 Puma VEROs, I'm out. I'm not listing Puma anymore. And that's mission accomplished in Puma's eyes. And all we could do to fight back is don't buy Puma brand new at the store no more. Fight them with your wallet. If they're coming after your wallet, your money, you go after their wallet and their money. This is not going to be a new thing. This will be a common occurrence as the time goes on, and as more money, more customers' attention come to secondhand items that we sell. This is going to become more and more and more routine of a practice, and it's up to us to stay ahead of them. When we hear of something going on, we need to change our listings, like I talked about right at the top of the call. When we hear something going on, we need to know how to navigate. If we see somebody else get jammed up, we got to be smart enough to go the other way. Now, you're going to see people list Puma. You're going to see people sell Puma. Every single person in this chat, there's 300 people in this chat. Every single one of you sped in the car last time you got behind the wheel. Not every single one of you guys got caught. So there will be people that list VEROs. They will sell them. They will not get caught. Everybody speeds. Not everybody gets caught. But we have to be able to stay ahead in the game, keep our accounts afloat. Our accounts are worth thousands of dollars, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars over the course of their lifetime. It is not worth one item. It is not worth one brand. So how VEROs go, and eBay doesn't release any sort of official communication on this because it can be easily gamed. But how VEROs go is your first VERO, you get a very wimpy email. A lot of you guys probably got this email, a very wimpy email that says, hey, you may not have been aware, but you cannot list items that are counterfeit, trademark infringement, so on and so forth. You'll get a very wimpy email. The second one you get will be a little bit more sternly worded. Hey, we told you not to do this. You did it. Next time we see you, we're going to take action. Usually on the third one, second or third, depends, you may get a 3-day vacation. They're going to remove all your items offline. You may get a 7-day vacation. They remove all your items offline. A 10-day vacation, a 30-day vacation, maybe even a permanent vacation. What eBay does not like in terms of VERO is VEROs for the same things over and over and over again. If you received a VERO for a Puma, don't list Puma and continuously get VEROs from Puma. If you received a VERO from Apple, don't continuously list Apple again. You have to be out. They also don't like VEROs in very, very close succession. So if you receive a VERO from Puma today and in 2 weeks you receive another Vero, they're probably going to sit you down for a couple of days. And when they sit you down, it's no sales. So in our experience, and from me talking to thousands of people, the Veros usually fall off every single year on a rolling 12-month calendar. And you can go to top right-hand corner of your Seller Hub. You can click Seller Tools, and on Seller Tools, about halfway down on that left-hand menu, it will tell you all of your policy violations for the last week, last 30 days, last quarter, last year. All of your policy violations are there. We need to track that. We need to understand that. We need to know what's going on. We need to be extremely careful with everything that we're picking up. If you're listing fakes, you deserve to get a Vero. No problem. We need to know enough that we're not listing fakes. In the group, we have 5 calls going over fakes. What to look for on this specific brand, what to look for on this specific item. How do we assess an item if it's real or fake? If you list a fake, you deserve a Vero. If you list a Puma item that was legitimate and you got a Vero, it's not right. But that's the reality. So, okay, we talked about what to do if you hear about Veros. We should already be clear on that. Chat, are we clear? We already talked about the potential impact long-term in the future of Veros. We should be clear on that. Now, if you have received a Vero, you're going to get an email from the rights owner or the representative of the rights owner. In this case, all of you guys have gotten emails from Red Points Brand Protection. Red Points Brand Protection, on behalf of Puma, as a representative of Puma, has issued a Vero. They also represent 1,300 other companies. You can visit the website and get a list of all the companies. So they give you the opportunity to email the brand representative. Since on the bottom of that Vero email is an email directly back to Red Points, you need to email Red Points. You need to state your case that this was a pre-owned item. Here's the tags. Here's the stitching. Here's close-ups. Here's the interior side seam tags. Here's the model number. Here's the QR code. You need to give them all of the information to show them that this was a legitimate item and this was not a counterfeit item and they made a mistake. I personally have had Red Points rescind a Vero that they gave me in 2008. They gave me a Vero on December 26, 2008 at about 8 o'clock at night. I remember exactly where I was, and I gave them the information. I showed them it was legitimate, and they rescinded the Vero. What they're going to tell you is, they're going to ask you, do you have an invoice? Do you have a receipt? Are you a brand representative or an authorized reseller or dealer? And the answer is going to be no. But you don't have to be a authorized dealer or authorized reseller of a pre-owned item. If you're listing as new, we've already talked about this 100 times. Listing any item as new versus used, you are a humongous percent more likely to get a Vero on a new item versus a pre-owned item. Humongous percent difference, because a new item, they are more protective on. A new item may offer a warranty or guarantee that we are not able to do so. So some companies, Patagonia, some companies, North Face, may offer a lifetime warranty under brand new condition. We are selling brand new condition. However, we do not offer the lifetime warranty. That's when they strike you down. So if you are listing brand new, you have more gumption than me. I stopped listing brand new 5 years ago. I saw what was happening. I saw what was coming. I list pre-owned everything. If the item has tags on it still, I don't know if someone has worn this. I got it from the flea market. They got it from the thrift. I got it from the bins. I do not know if this item is brand new or used. I didn't buy it personally. I'm listing as at pre-owned. I'm going to limit my liability, limit my exposure to a Vero. And the price difference, more often than not, between brand new and pre-owned is next to nothing. It's not worth your account to list items in brand new condition. The money, the bang for the buck is not there. Take it on the chin, list it as pre-owned. You're still going to be profitable and you'll be fine. Now I'm talking about clothing. I'm talking about widgets like that. If you have a brand new sealed Super Nintendo from 1989, that's fine. List it as brand new. That's old, antiquated, no problem. I'm talking present day items that brands are heavily going after and heavily protecting. Not the old stuff. The old stuff, little more leeway on that. So if you are listing in brand new condition, they are going to ask you for invoices. They are going to ask you for suppliers. They are going to ask you for receipts, for paper trails. They are going to ask you for your paperwork to show that you are an authorized dealer or an authorized reseller, and you are not. Therefore, you're going to have to sit down and hold the Vero. One Vero will not sink your battleship. Just don't get multiple for the same reasons, and don't get multiple Veros in a short amount of time. So if you're the type of person that likes to play in the gray area, or you like to speed a little bit, or you like to test the boundaries, and you just got jammed up on a Puma, you better be easy for the next couple of months. Otherwise, they're going to sit you down and they're going to send you home for a couple of days, and you will receive no sales while all of your store is deleted off of the platform. Might be 3 days, 7 days, 10 days, 30 days. I don't know. But they're going to sit you down. They're going to take you off the platform if you continuously break the same rule, or you break multiple different rules in a very short period of time. So if you did receive a Vero email, on the bottom of the email, it says, email the rights owner if you feel this is a mistake or you want to contest or appeal it. No problem. Email the rights owner. Give them enough pictures, satisfactory pictures, where they can look at it, where they can determine that they made a mistake. If they don't respond to you, email them every single day. If they want to cause problems in our lives, all of us should email them. Email them. That's what they're there for. Make their processing of these Veros as expensive as it is for us to take down all of the items that were not counterfeit, that they have deemed counterfeit. Give them paperwork to do. Email every single day until you get a satisfactory answer, because you were not in the wrong. What they have done is swept with a broad brush and took down tons of items that were legitimate because they don't want them on the platform. Every single person that received a Vero, you should email them. Email them the item number, email them the title, email them all the photographs, and tell them this was pre-owned. Here's the tag, here's the QR code, here's the item number, here's the RN number. Now take this off my account because you're hindering my business. That's what I did. I did that to them in 2018 and got the Vero rescinded. So what if you can get to the point where they will rescind the Vero, they'll go, oh, my bad, no problem. Yeah, you're bad, you're right. They'll say, my bad. After that point, they have to contact eBay, and then they have to rescind the Vero. That Vero will fall off of your account, and you're off scot-free. So this is the reality going forward. It's always been the reality. I'm a big chicken. I've been on eBay almost 20 years. I showed my my policy violation screen in the group the other day. I have zero. I have zero policy violations. I'm a big chicken. I've been on eBay for almost 20 years. I know a lot of people that have been suspended because they do egregious, very, very egregious rule breaking and very, very egregious misuse of the platform. Anybody that gets suspended is not for no reason. If you've been suspended, it is an egregious misuse of the platform. It's not hard to stay on eBay. So Puma is being aggressive. Take all of your Puma items down by doing what? Don't just end them. Revise them. Remove the photographs because AI is reading them. Change the title from Puma shirt, men's extra large, black, orange, spell out graphic, cotton. Change it to shirt. Take out everything containing Puma in the title. Go down to the item specifics. Change the item specific to shirt. Any other item specific that pertains to the brand, change it. Change your description to say shirt. Revise and save the listing so it's a revised, edited listing. Go back to your shirt listing with a picture of your white wall. Don't put your dog in there because it's against policy to sell animals. Put a picture of the wall. Go back into your listing, then and only then select end. Once that's ended, you can delete it. You can get it out of there. But you can still get a Vero on an ended item. You can still get a Vero on a deleted item. You can still get a Vero on a sold item. You can get a Vero on an active item or an inactive item. They can see it all. So we need to change every single instance that pertains to that so it doesn't come up on their search in the AI. Are we clear on all of this? This was a lot of information. A lot of folks should probably go all the way back to the beginning, start over, and get all of this information downloaded into your brain. And this is the kind of stuff that we talk about every single day in the group. I do the morning call every single day. I have terabytes of information about reselling in my brain, and I have downloaded it into the group of thousands of hours of calls. So that way we can navigate safely, we can make a bunch of money, and we can be 5 or 10 years ahead of everybody else, because everyone else is just now doing stuff we've been doing for 5 or 10 years. So if you want to be ahead of the game, you want to win this race, you got to innovate. You got to be in front of every single other person that's doing stuff that we was already doing a long time ago. So please, I beg of you, if you hear some rumblings of a Vero, we have to keep our ear to the streets and we have to make the proper moves to save our account. If you have clothing or Puma shoes or this and that, you really need to take a hard look at it and say, hey, do I need these items? Probably not. We should take them down. And we do not need VEROs on our account for bad reasons or reasons that are innocent against us, because these are authentic items and we're being struck with VEROs. So like we're on thin ice. And after that, the ice cracks and we're going to get sat down. So, all right, everybody, I need questions in the chat. Let's keep it for VEROs and copyright infringement and trademark violations. Let's just keep it for that. We've already been here for 35 minutes. I've just been trying to give you all of the information. It's a fire hose of information. It might be a million miles an hour. No problem. Go back to the beginning, start over again, press pause when you need to. So Abstract said, what if I already ended all of my items that are listed as Puma? You're stuck. There is still potential for you to get a policy violation, trademark infringement, or copyright strike on an ended listing that still contains anything about VERO. So what does this mean? Got that. Very good. I only had 2 Puma items, took them down. Very good. Good job, Gem Flipper. And we talked about that last week. Last week, when we started getting reports of Puma striking everything, everybody in the group took this stuff down. That was 5 days ago by now. That was 5 days ago. We got to get this stuff down when we hear the first instances of it. Run the comps, that's Fino. I don't participate in the group that much, too busy working, but I pay every month just to stay ahead. Salute to Fino. That's my man. Good work, Fino. Thank you very much. So Benjamin said they sold a Puma item a month or so ago, haven't got any messages. They can still go in there and they can still get it. Hopefully you're safe, but maybe not. I don't know. Since I already ended the item, what if I relist them and then revise them and end? Will that work? That will not work. If you've ended the item, do not relist it and then revise it and end that one. Now you're giving yourself 2 chances to get struck. Do not relist the item and then end it again. You're giving yourself 2 chances to be struck. Leave it in the ended. Pray to the Puma gods that they miss you and just live your life as normal. We can't be fearful. We have to be proactive, not reactive. And this is the thing. A lot of people in the chat today were being reactive instead of being proactive. So if we've already ended it, it's a wrap. Don't go listing it again and try to revise it. You're giving yourself 2 opportunities to get whacked. So how many VEROs can you get before they ban you? Like I said, they don't tell us exactly what the definition is, because it could be easily gamed. There'll be someone who say, okay, I get 5 opportunities. I'm going to sell 4 fake Mona Lisas, and on the 5th one, I'm going to chill. They don't tell us. You could be out of here in 1. You could be out of here in 5. You could be out of here in 3. It's unknown. But what is known is the parameters in which we need to operate by, the policies, the guidelines, what's happening in the community and in the market space. That's what we know, and we have to act accordingly. Reseller George said they got a VERO on a Disney Plus a couple of weeks ago. Disney is very, very protective. And there are tons and tons of brands that are extremely protective. Beachbody, Velcro, Rosetta Stone. You got to be careful about softwares. Softwares are under the understanding that the software company owns the software. You have purchased a license key or a validation code. You cannot sell the software. You do not own Rosetta Stone. You own the account, the software, the code that you have purchased to activate the software that Rosetta Stone still owns. So softwares are very, very aggressive. I've seen HP be aggressive sometimes. Beachbody is aggressive. Coach is aggressive. The more designer brands, high-end brands are usually a little bit more aggressive because there's more fakes. Nike is aggressive on brand new for export. Levi's is aggressive on brand new for export. We've been over that. And this is something you have to be careful of as well. Levi's does not want their brand new items offered for sale internationally. That is a policy violation 99% of the time. If you are listing brand new condition Levi's for sale internationally, whether it be direct to international or through the eBay International Shipping Program, Levi's is going to whack you. It's 99% of the time. This is the tricky part. Levi's owns Dockers. They will give you a VERO policy violation for offering Dockers in brand new condition internationally. Now, nobody in the chat should have Dockers in their store because the brand is horrible, but all the subsidiaries underneath the parent company are all candidates for the policy violation. So Nike, every single year, goes through and whacks a bunch of items that are brand new for sale offered internationally. They do not want their new condition items offered for sale internationally. It happens every single year. Nike owns Converse. Nike used to own Kohan. Nike owns a bunch of different companies, and when the Nikes get hit, Converse gets hit. So we have to know all of this stuff. It's tricky, but we have to know it. It is imperative to what we do. What would you be worried if you were a full-time reseller right now? I don't think so. I'm never worried. I have nothing to worry about. I gamble with my life. I do not gamble with my business. I gamble with my life. I do not gamble with my money. I am not worried. I am not worried about the future of reselling. It will get difficult. It will get harder. The companies will try to overreach, extend their reach. That's okay. We just got to be ahead of the game. We got to outsmart them. We got to see what's happening and be proactive, not reactive, and let it happen to us and then make a change. We got to be ahead of the game. I'm not worried about it. I feel like this is the most valuable and best time to be a reseller because there's more customers than ever online. There is more product available ever in the history of mankind. There is more software and information that eBay offers us. This is the time. But we can very well have this conversation 3 to 5 years from now and talk about in our rocking chairs the good old days. So if you guys are not taking advantage of what's going on today, shame on you. Shame on every single person that is not taking advantage to what's happening today. This should be a wake-up call. FILA did it. That should have been a wake-up call. The NFL did it. That should be a wake-up call. How many wake-up calls do we need to get our butts in gear and take advantage of this opportunity? That's the question that we need to ask ourselves today. When we wake up tomorrow morning, how many more wake-up calls do we need? AI is coming. Goodwill's holding the stuff. Whatnot is becoming more proficient and lowering the bar for anyone in the world to sell an item without any kind of expertise. You turn on the camera, hold it in front, it's going to get a bid. How many more wake-up calls do we need before we totally get put out of this thing and sit around and say, I wish I would have? Like, eventually there will be a reseller podcast titled Reselling Wish I Would Have, because there was a time where you could make a boatload of money because the opportunity was so tremendous, and I let the ship sail right on past me and didn't grasp it. One day that will be a podcast. Do you think this will hurt eBay financials as a company? I mean, technically speaking, the answer is yes, because if there are no more Puma on the platform, whether Puma was 0.01% of net sales, that is technically going to be a downvote on the financials. If Puma is not there, they will sell less Puma, resulting in less sales. Absolutely. James Beaufines, my man, all the way from the UK. Let's go. How are you selling 30 to 50K bulk deals you find in the last few videos these days? Wholesaler, eBay. I do not list any clothes on eBay, not because I'm afraid of the Puma machine or VEROs. I've accomplished my mission on eBay. For the people that don't know, brand new, I had 50,000 items on eBay. Used to sell 250 to 300 items every single day. Used to list 250 items every single day. Never lost, never anyone came to my store and say, gotcha, you didn't list today. I listed every single day. Millions of dollars in sales, the biggest store, the best store, the most amount of sales, number one in every single pre-owned men's clothing category. That's what I set out to do, to build the best eBay store. After I did that, immediately fell out of love. Now it's time to go get the bag, transfer over to wholesale, because once upon a time, the most valuable asset for me in my business was me in my business with my butt sitting on the chair listing items on eBay. That was once upon a time the most valuable asset to the business. Now the most valuable asset to the business is the amount of inventory that I have access to. And every single day that I was turning away items because I had my 250, I was doing a disservice to me, my business, my bank account. So now I don't turn away any items, and all the clothing goes on the pallets. And I made a decision. If I was going to go into wholesale and go into pallets, I need to stop selling clothing because I believe it is a conflict of interest. So every single item clothing-wise that I get goes into the pallets. I don't get to pick or choose and say, I'm keeping the good stuff for me. I do not list clothing online. I do not list clothing on eBay. So if I get a $500 item, it goes on the pallet. It doesn't matter. I do not have any skin in the game for clothing anymore. It goes on the pallet. There is no conflict of interest. A guy the other day received brand new Filson pants worth $500. I don't care. I don't list clothing anymore. I list 20 hats a day for fun, and that's it. How do you revise a sold listing? You cannot unless you do the out of stock option, but the out of stock option has its complications and it is not something for beginners. If you are interested in the out of stock option, we talk about it in the group all the time. But you need to do your homework, you need to do your research, you need to do your due diligence, because everything that eBay does automatically for you, you now have to do manually. So the out of stock option, the information is out there. You can Google it, you can research it, but just know you can get yourself in a jam. I use the out of stock option. I understand that everything eBay does for me automatically, now I have to do manually. I have no problem doing that. So if you're not using the out of stock option, you cannot revise a sold listing. That's it. It's over. It's a wrap. Do you think these brands are ever going to get sued for this? I mean, someone can do it, but you better be sitting on a boatload of money, because even if they don't bleed you dry in the first level of circuit court, if you win, they're going to appeal it. Appeals are very expensive. If you win again, they're going to appeal it again. Appeals are very expensive. You're going to get bled dry. Like, no reseller, I don't care who you are, you cannot go to court and fight the good fight for all resellers worldwide against a mega company like Puma. It's just not happening. And we could say, okay, well, we can crowdsource it, this and that. Go ahead, but the money's going to run out. They're going to tackle you and inundate you with a mountain of paperwork that you're never going to get anywhere. So, Michelle said that is true about the pork stuck in the laws. Absolutely, it is. Snauzo says, what carpet do you use for the background? I want to jump on the gray carpet. Items look so much better. You know, once upon a time, I used to get made fun of everywhere across the internet for the gray background, and now everybody uses it. Just to see a Vero for Acne Studios last week. I've seen a couple people do that. Huda Beauty also gives out Veros. You got to be careful about the beauty ones, the cream ones. I know, who's that guy who is on TV? He's a very famous blonde-haired guy. He was on the TV show with Jeff Lewis, the guy who does the makeovers for the homes. That guy gives out Veros like crazy too. Run the Compsfino says he actually got caught speeding. So there you go. Everyone speeds, but not everybody gets caught. Here we go. I got a Vero for the brand FEIUEY, a Chinese shoe brand. There you go. Yeah, a lot of people are doing this. What if you bought directly from the store, aka retail arbitrage? Then you can upload photographs, upload the tags, upload the QR code, upload your receipts, and see if that works, see if that's good. New all the way for me for now. Name a condition that's better than new. There is none. Lee, you are more than welcome to do it. All I'm saying is that you are by far way more opening yourself up and putting your account way more at risk listing as new. Croc directly sent them a message on a listing. I was interfering with authorized seller and couldn't. Yeah, you got to be careful. Got to be careful. What do you think about go live sale in 2025? I think live selling is good. I think that it is more of a bulk model. It's more of the actual cash value of the item today. If you want all of the money, you're probably going to have to do all the work, which means all the listing, all the photos, all the storing to get all of the money. If you want actual cash value, sell it today, pay today. Live selling might be the way to go. Aaron said they're still waiting for the response to Puma. I got a Vero for Little Black Handbook. Absolutely. On seller tools, where do you see your defects? You go to the top right, and then over there on the left, I'll see if I can find it. 1 second. Here it is right here. It is ebay.com/RH, and you need to go to your resolution hub. ebay.com/RH resolution hub. That's where they show all of your policy violations. That is in Seller Hub, top right-hand corner, seller tools. You can also look at your feedback or any sort of issues that you had. It is ebay.com/RH, ebay.com/RH. That's where you see your policy violations. Joe said, on early today, I'm telling you guys, I want to try to talk to as many people as possible, different people as possible. We have my man, James Bold Finds in the chat. And usually when we come at 8 o'clock at night, it's too late for our friends in the UK. So we got to come on early sometimes. We got to come on in the morning, talk to people in Australia, California, the East Coast, UK. I don't care where you are. I want to talk to as many people as possible. Let me come up with the chat. a lot of people surprised that they got hit with the Vero. It's not surprising. This is going to happen more and more and more and more. Laura says this is absolutely the best Vero talk I've ever listened to. This is all we do, rock and roll 24 hours a day. That's it. Can you clarify what you can sell with is new with tags? I do not list anything new with tags under the condition of new. I don't do it. I list everything new with tags under the condition of pre-owned. That's what I do. That's what I do. I list everything new with tags under the condition of pre-owned. Now, this is what you cannot do. You cannot list new with tags as pre-owned and then say in the title it's new. You cannot list new with tags pre-owned and then say in the description it is new. That is a policy violation. It's my opinion. I did not purchase this brand new for the store. I don't know if somebody wore this. I don't know if someone has used this. I know that it was donated. I know that it was found on the ground at the flea market. I don't know the history of this item. Yes, it does have the tags. I do not know if it is new. I list it as pre-owned. That's what I do. That's my policy. That's my policy. It is way too risky to list brand new from here on out, in my opinion. The picky picker says, definitely saving this video to the playlist. I hope it is helpful. Ben says, great question. Ben Cook. What if I have an active offer and can't edit? You can go into your offer sent, you can cancel the offer, and then you can revise the listing. So you can go to your active screen on Seller Hub, you can go to offer sent, and you can rescind the offer, and you can edit the listing after the offer has been rescinded. I had a Vero for Puma items. I have offers without Puma. All right, take down, edit your listings for Puma. Look, I'm not recommending anybody to anything. I'm telling you what I would do. You guys can keep your Puma up for as long as you want. I don't care. If I had Puma shoes, if I had Puma shirts, if I had Puma jackets, I would remove them. I would edit them like we've talked about 5 times now. I'm not going to go through the whole spiel. If you missed it, go back to the beginning. It's very valuable. And I would remove those items off of the platform. If I had shoes, shirts, jackets, that's what I've seen Veros for so far. Shoes, shirts, jackets, that's what I've seen Veros for. Ruth said, got the first Vero this morning on a Taylor Swift sweatshirt. I could hear you in my head as I listed it, that I could get in trouble for this. Lesson learned. There you go, Ruth. And as I read that, you already know what I was going to say. Taylor Swift don't mess around. Taylor Swift will give you the good news. I would not list Taylor Swift on eBay. She does not mess around. She does not want her items sold. There'll be people in the chat right now and go, I've sold Taylor Swift before. Good on you. She's coming with the good news if you list enough of it. Do not list Taylor Swift on the eBay machine. She will give you the good news with a Vero. I've talked about it a million times. This is also my policy regarding should I list an item or not. If I'm at the thrift store, if I'm at the flea market, and I even get an inkling or a thought that this item may be a candidate for a Vero, I leave it. If I am in the process of photographing an item and I even get an inkling and say, this could be a candidate for a Vero, I do not photograph it. If I am at the listing station and think to myself, this could be a candidate for a Vero, I do not list it, I put it to the side. And when Ruth was listing it, and she said, that guy on the treadmill on the morning says, don't list Taylor Swift because she gives Veros, that should have been the inkling not to list it. Better safe than sorry. So Doggismo said it's clearly a misuse of the Vero program. Absolutely it is. And we talked about that right in the beginning. And it's a misuse of the Vero program. And Doggismo, what are you going to do about it? Nothing. You're not going to do anything about it. You're going to take your Puma items down, and that'll be the end of that. I'm assuming that I shouldn't worry about Puma Vero for a new with tag hat I sold a couple of months ago. You never know. They can see it. They can see it all. Is the correct wording original tags attached and note for the listing as pre-owned? That is a policy violation. You're not allowed to do that. You cannot have conflicting conditions on a listing. If you're going to list it as pre-owned, it's pre-owned. Don't play games and go, tags are still attached. Pre-owned, never been worn. Pre-owned, new. You can't do it. Pre-owned is pre-owned. That's it. Do you believe if enough resellers buy enough stock in eBay, we could have a say in policy changes or issues? I mean, if you had some kind of company that all resellers were a part of, and that company owned stock and you bought enough stock to get a chair at the table, absolutely. Until then, I don't know. How do I take off international shipping on Levi's if I use the eBay international shipping program? So Levi's in pre-owned condition Up to right now, there is no issue offering them internationally in pre-owned condition. Levi's in brand new condition, they do give out policy violations for Levi's in brand new condition offered for sale internationally. So what you would have to do is create a new business policy that does not have international shipping enabled. If when a company is buying back used items, wondering if resellers can sell them back, they can. They can. You can give all of your Lululemon right back to Lululemon. If you're good with the price, you can operate that way as well. What is your experience with manufacturers' clothing using Gore-Tex? I have seen people get a policy violation from Gore-Tex. Gore-Tex is owned by DuPont, the DuPont company. They own the word Gore-Tex. Gore-Tex is actually polytetrafluoroethylene. That is Gore-Tex. Polytetrafluoroethylene. But the brand name is Gore-Tex. And the DuPont company owns the word Gore-Tex. I have seen people get a policy violation from DuPont for using the name Gore-Tex. So for me, I would use waterproof. I would not use Gore-Tex. That's me. That's me personally. I'm a big chicken. I've been on eBay for almost 20 years and I have no policy violations. I would not use the word Gore-Tex. The word Gore-Tex is a brand name, a trademark name for a very long scientific name of a chemical that provides water resistance. And that's what it is. So for me, I'm staying away from the DuPont company. Like you said, when they invent a machine to sort clothes and take pictures and list on a conveyor belt, it'll be a wrap after that. Yeah, it's coming. If taking down your Puma listings is going to affect your business, you've got bigger issues than a possible. Look, absolutely. Like there's not a whole bunch of Puma stuff that is even worth listing in the first place. Like most Puma items are not good. Like I can only think of like Puma Ferrari. That's about it. Ferrari in and itself is aggressive. Porsche can be aggressive. I've seen Porsche give VEROs. I've seen Ferrari give VEROs. Puma has paid a lot of money to have the licensing for Ferrari, but pretty much like the only Puma stuff that's worthwhile is like the Puma driving shoes or the Puma Ferrari. Other than that, like they did a lot of resellers a favor, I'll tell you that. Hello from Thailand. I got 9 Ralph Lauren polos, $25 at the flea market. Very good. I hope everybody is good. 310,000 Puma items on eBay, 51,000 sold in the last 90 days. I mean, Puma was not great in the first place, man. They did a lot of people a service by taking that stuff down. I just listed a Puma Tour issued Farmers Insurance Cobra hat. I hope I don't get in trouble because Tour issued from the PGA. I have not seen any Puma hat VEROs yet, but it doesn't mean it's not coming. I mean, they've been coming for a while. Puma also used to hold the licensing for the NFL in the year 2000, so there's that as well. There's a lot of Puma NFL stuff out there. There's a lot of Puma soccer stuff. So far, I have seen shirts, jackets, shoes, sweaters. That's what I've seen so far, but they could be going category by category. I don't know. Very good, very good. Very good, very good. Is that it? That's all the questions in the chat. How we doing? I think that's it, right? What else do we got? I have great luck. I got a VERO this morning for Puma's shirt that I've already delisted the day prior because I got caught word that Puma was sending out VEROs, and that's a perfect example from Mark. You got to do what I told you to do at the top of the hour, in the top 25% of the hour, in the top 50% of the hour, in the top 75% of the hour. You got to do that. If you do not do that, you are still susceptible to a VERO. You got to change everything on the listing. You have to. If you own a multiple family house, can you live in one unit, use the other unit for business? You absolutely could. I literally just ended 9 Puma listings, exactly how you said, and one got hit with a counterfeit violations. Absolutely. And there is a little bit of lag time between the item being taken down and the VERO coming in. So even if you did it an hour ago, there is still a possibility that you can still receive a VERO. So cross your fingers, hopefully not. I found a vintage Banana Republic Safari field jacket. Would you say it's a good find? I like those. I also like the Banana Republic like vest, photography vest, fishing vest. They do very well for me. And one of my favorite tags is the vintage Banana Republic tag with the red circle and the bananas on it. I enjoy it. So GA Flipper says, I always ask myself if tech would list this before listing. I'm a big chicken. I'll tell you that straight up. Very good, very good, very good. eBay UK don't have pre-owned condition, only newer used, newer tags. I would list it as used. I have seen people also in the UK that have received VEROs from Puma as well. Where can I get a Louis Vuitton purse certified to verify that it's real? You can use the Legit app. That's what I did to legit check a pair of Louis Vuitton shoes that I found in New York City. I got them for $5. They're worth about 600. I used the Legit app. How many D-list, relist would you say is safe to do per day on eBay? I don't believe in D-list, relist. I don't believe in taking an item off the shelf, making no improvements and putting it back on and thinking that's going to make a difference. If you're going to D-list, make an improvement, change a keyword, target a different buyer, learn a different utility for the item. Just simply taking an item off the shelf and putting it back on, I don't subscribe to that. We have to make the items better. We got to change the price. We got to get that item re-indexed. Putting the same exact item on eBay that didn't sell the first time, I don't believe eBay is that stupid. They're a multi-billion-dollar corporation. They're not going to get fooled of you taking it off the shelf, putting it back with no improvements. Some of the Puma collabs were decent. Yeah, the Puma Ferrari was the best. Utah Jazz, the best. That's Travis. Got you. Now I got you. All right, very good, very good, very good. Rocket Man says, stop cleaning out the flea market. That's the only thing I do, my friend. The only thing I do. Last video you showed you were at NYC. Yeah, I was there for about a month. All right, very good. Let's keep this one short and sweet. Vero, copyright, trademark infringement. This is the Bible to policy violations and VEROs. If you have a reseller friend, do them a favor. Have them watch this. Share the link. Have them watch this. Share the link. Have them watch this. Share the link. It is important. It is imperative that we know what to do when these brands come after us. When we hear of people getting a policy violation, we got to know what to do. I want to keep this short and sweet so people can find this in the algorithm on how to handle VEROs, know what they got to do, protect their account, get it done. So thank you, everybody. I hope this was enlightening. I hope this was educational. I hope this was informative. If you like this, we do this in the group every single day. Every single day in the group, I host the morning call. I host a 100K call. I host the Tech Tuesday call. Every single day, we are rocking and rolling reselling. It's the most comprehensive database for reselling anywhere on the internet. 30 live calls per week, 120 live calls per month, $1 a day. It breaks out to a 26 cents per call. If you cannot make a profit on your $1, I will give you a refund. It's tax deductible. It's a no-brainer. End the year strong. Start the new year off right. If you cannot make a profit by having all of this information downloaded in your brain, I will give you a refund. So thank you very much. I appreciate every single person. Hit the thumbs up. If you're late, drop a comment. I answer every single comment. That's how I roll. Thank you very much. Hope this was helpful. Adios. Be great.